Hello, I'm Cleopatra Wallace, and these are my personal thoughts on the Chandler Halderson trial. And because I always like keeping my hands busy while I talk about it, I'm going to continue to work on this hat. Now, when making a hat, this is not a hat tutorial, but whatever. When first making a hat, you got to make the centerpiece, and this actually started out looking like a little pastry. I thought that was funny. And do what's known as the crown area. So the crown area will be from the pastry to this rim here. And then you add loops to make it bigger so you can so it can be a hat and kind of be like baggy inside. And then when you get ready to make the rim of it, the part that actually be tight to hold it on your head, you take away loops. And also I'm drinking some really nice tea right now. It's made by Herbal Essences, I think it's called. No, Celestial Seasonings. It's called Sugar Cookie Sleigh Ride. Okay, now that that's out the way. So I've been watching this Chandler Halderson trial, and this is not a unique situation at all. Lately, there has been quite a few cases to where whenever the parent has asked the child to get a job, and I'm not picking on millennials, but it's usually a millennial. Whenever these adult children are faced with the consequence of having to actually pay for their way in society, they just can't take it. And they all of a sudden the parent becomes the enemy because the parent is the one enforcing the rules of society. So a lot of times, they get a relationship and they do that whole Bonnie and Clyde thing. But with this Chandler Halderson case, him and Kat, I I go back and forth between was she in on it and was he trying to frame her? Because she was like right there with him the whole time just about, but maybe she just really was clueless. But the way they questioned her yesterday about the screenshots of the houses in Florida and stuff like that, I kind of feel like they're trying to say that the girl wanted to live that SpaceX, yeah, that's quotations, the SpaceX life so bad that and remember, you got to think that he was telling her that he was grounded from seeing her. So, if you don't know any better, you'll be like, oh, the girlfriend just was mad and decided to do away with the parents because nothing was going to stand between her and the houses in Florida. And it's idiotic, is what it is. This whole thing is just riddled with just the audacity. And I don't even, another thing that I kept waiting and watching to see, okay, what drug was he on when he was doing all of this? He shot his parents from behind because he's a coward, like most of these millennial children are. Shot his parent, both of them, from behind, cut them up, and burnt their heads in the fireplace in July, and thought nobody would notice it or smell it or nothing. And another thing, the detectives are right. He broke that glass on that fireplace by throwing water on it. I've actually broke quite several Pyrex baking dishes, in my 20s. I didn't know what I was doing, be trying to cook, experiment. And when that shit explodes, excuse my language, but when that glass explodes, it sounds like a gunshot. So yeah, that's how that fireplace glass really did get broke. He was burning the heads in there, and then was so clueless as to leave a piece of the skull in there. I just can't. I just can't with him. But then when you watch wait, let me get a sip of the tea because I'm getting all worked up. Then you watch the darn interrogation video, and he's on there saying that he was playing with the dog with a squeaky toy tennis ball and threw it at the dog and broke the glass. Now, that fireplace glass, that's like tempered glass. That's not like window pane glass from the 1982. No, that's like actual tempered glass. It's meant to withstand a lot of stuff. So there's no way possible that you throwing a dog toy at the fireplace and somehow the glass breaks. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make sense in any sense of the word. And what is his obsession where he talks about these dogs like these dogs are just quite the burden in his life? Every time you turn around, he's, oh, I had to get the dogs out, the fur out the dog fell down the steps, oh, they haven't eaten. And it's like, come on, man, stop talking about them dogs. You got, that's like the one responsibility you had, because you're lying about going to school. And when he broke out with that SpaceX lie in the line about going to school, in the back of my mind, I seen Casey Anthony, because she was another one of delusional millennials running around here with this grandiosity complex or whatever you call it. And she was saying she was working at Disneyland and done had her daughter. She got away. So maybe I shouldn't bring that up because I don't even want to evoke that particular spirit and when dealing with this, because he needs to go down. It's just so many things wrong with this. And then the detective asked him, is there any reason why your parents' blood would be mixed in with your blood since you cut yourself cleaning up the glass? Now, mind you, I think his dumb ass probably, why did I keep cussing? Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I think his crazy self probably did cut his foot, because when that glass exploded, probably, look, his parents up in there haunting himself. So, yeah, I bet he did cut his foot. But the thing about it is, it's a lot. We got a lot more going on. We got a lot more going on right now than you and your cut foot. And if I was the Crescent lady, and I really do like her name, Crescent, if I was her, I would be so pissed that I know it was out of Kat and Dose's control, that they had a maniac in their life. But it's kind of like, they kind of soiled her childhood's home. And it looks like her golden years home too. I mean, and true, when something is soiled, you can cover up the memory, but you can imagine how hard it got to be in that swimming pool and look over there at the tree line and not see what all happened over there. Personally, I don't think I would be able to live out there no more. I don't know. That's very upsetting too. But the way he put the bloody rags in the Target bag that had the cat girl's name on it and left that out there basically in Crescent's driveway, I kind of feel like he might have been trying to frame that girl a little bit. I really do. I really do. And back to the glass on his foot thing, because I done got all worked up. So I'm gonna be skipping around. But this is gonna be a quick video. But again, with the glass on the floor, they ask him, is there any reason why your parents' blood would be mixed with your blood? And he goes into this whole thing about his dad has psoriasis and be scratching his leg and globs of blood be falling out, and he's just still scratching. It's like, I don't know what horror movie you flash into in your mind, but I've never seen anybody scratch their own leg like that to where it's gushes of stuff coming out, like gushes of blood. Like, no. And I highly doubt your mother is getting a nosebleed from air conditioning enough to where it's just all over the house and mixed in the floor. So it's like, even that was just, why did you even say that? I would have rather he just had said no. Because the psoriasis and the nosebleed thing, that's not working for me. The squeaky toy tennis ball breaking the fireplace glass, that's not working for me. And can we talk about how morbid it is for him to leave that note that his mom left him, genuinely wishing him a good day? And he's just cutting her head off, walking back and forth, looking at this note. How sick is he? And when his brother testified yesterday, the older brother Mitch, you could see the facial expression in his face when he said that Chandler gave him a bullet that said "get well soon" on it. I felt like that's a threat. What kind of gift is that, to give somebody a bullet and say "get well soon"? And these are probably the same bullets that he used to kill their parents with. But like I said, this isn't an isolated event. It's actually quite a few cases of matricide. And I think it's called patricide. I don't know what it's called when you kill your dad. But when you kill your mom, it's called matricide. So there was a few cases. I actually did a story on one of them. Marsha Chance, her son killed her on Thanksgiving. And then it was the guy a few months ago when his parents was asking him to get a job so they can go on retirement or something. He killed them over Thanksgiving and disarticulated them. This crazy person here, this Chandler guy, he actually cut the bodies up. That guy who did it, what it was like 2019, I forget his name, but he disarticulated them, meaning he actually boiled them and broke the bones and the sinew and the veins and the cartilage to where there was no cutting to where he just broke them down and took the skeletons apart. And those was his parents. And then he had to prepay up his bills for a few months with their information, credit cards and checking accounts and stuff. And he wasn't remorseful at all. So there's just a lot going on with these millennials. And I tell you what, if you're living with one, even if they are your grown child, don't pressure them about, getting their shit together. Sorry, I keep cussing. Don't pressure them about getting their stuff together. What I would say is just make it to where there's like no room set up just waiting for you to come live in. So if you have like an empty nest and it's an extra room somewhere, fill the room up with plants. Put anything in there. Turn it into a sewing room. Just stack a bunch of shoes in it to where if your grown child come over there and be like, Mom, can I stay at you? Be like, where you gonna stay? Because ain't no room over here. I'm not saying be mean to the millennials, but don't turn your back on them. And that's just my thoughts.